Would you like me to continue about sexual shame,
Hmm.
being shamed sexually? It's always best for me to hear like the kind of like circumstances, what kind of like feeling. So, for example, like if it could be like just due to upbringing, like religious upbringing, sex negative upbringing, having this kind of sexual shame, and how to integrate that into our personality, and also how to integrate it in the face of all the socialization that we've been through, the kind of owning of sexuality. That's very important. And about being shamed. Again, that would help to kind of know the context. Do you want to kind of like, do you have a specific question there?
Well, there are a few. There's shame around not having this. Well, this the questions like the shame around not having an incredibly large penis. There's just shame around sex in general. There was someone who talked about dealing with shame in the respect of how his girlfriend mentioned to him that the type of sex that they have is very different from the type of sex that she has with hookups. And that made him quite insecure and he felt a bit shameful about that. And then there's also someone who said that when he doesn't, when his partner doesn't come, he feels ashamed.
Okay, three things. So first of all, like the body image, that's for men and for women. And so for men, it's often shame about the size or the size of their penis. That's often the case. But also these days, about not being muscly enough, about about not being tall enough, things like that. So body image issues. And so the good thing about like sessions with me is that people can be seen if it's like an in-person session. So you can actually try that out with me as a practitioner, where you can kind of like get in touch with what do I feel? What do I feel when I like slowly undress in front of a stranger that's kind of like creating a space where that's safe. So what, and also like talking about like what do I feel? What is kind of like what I've just like disclosed. What do I feel about that body part of mine? And so to kind of like get in touch with all the kind of negative messaging and to come to a place which kind of may take a little bit of like truly loving yourselves, and that can be in front of a mirror exercise of looking into our own eyes and to develop this beautiful connection with ourselves. This we don't exist outside of society. So when we are constantly being told something about ourselves, it's like the fairy tale of the what's the fairy tale with the swan that's like in together with ducks.
The ugly duckling.
The ugly duckling. So when we are a swan among ugly ducklings, and we get all these kind of negative feedback, that is like very difficult because we believe that because nobody else says anything different. But also we kind of take it on, and then we hear only that, and we may not hear the swans, our kind of people that are actually saying really beautiful things. And so that's very necessary to also like hear that. But from that, we can develop this kind of intimacy with ourselves because let's face it, we are our first love partner. We are our next of kin, the closest one that we have. And so first of all, getting back to this connection, which can be passionate, because we can never know ourselves fully. We think we know ourselves, but the kind of like how to say that, this kind of like more being in awe, developing this kind of like pretending that we've never seen ourselves, the looking in the mirror and not quite sure what we're actually seeing, the kind of newness, creating this kind of newness with ourselves, and then falling in love in something that we didn't even know was there. Tantra can help with that. Tantra process of like creating this kind of newness and mystery of ourselves. About penis, so there's kind of like penises come in all kinds of shapes, and so it's important to understand that like people. So it's interesting, like a large penis. So usually that would be kind of like an asset. Oh, this is kind of okay, to kind of impress people with a specifically large penis. So what I often come across like more kind of micro penises and small penises, and some people just like have no issue whatsoever, because let's face it, they're growers and showers. And so the showers is where the penis doesn't really change that much in size when they get erect. And the growers is like for the micro penis, for example, that goes considerably larger. Yeah. And so with the sexual intercourse, it's actually the men with the penis on the average or smaller side that are more versatile. Because if you have like quite a large penis, or also like a long penis, that may not fit, even though vaginas are kind of flexible, that may not fit every vagina. But with a small penis, actually, it's kind of like more versatile. And also, I'm not sure how that features with anal sex. I guess that's anal sex wouldn't really matter that much. And so, so body image. Getting in touch like for everything, the kind of like shame in the locker room that you mentioned, kind of like being seen and so on. So that's something that we can actually try out. And then you said about like sexual compatibility, and so especially when you have like partners that are more sexually experienced. So that so would just notice the kind of like something is expected of me that I'm not ready to do. And so again, knowing that you don't have to go along with anything that's being proposed to you. And so you can maybe like dip a toe in, but knowing that you can say no at every step of the way. And also you don't have to consent to everything that's being asked of you. Take it as a learning opportunity of something fun, rather than that's expected of me and I'm really not ready to do that. But also like having a strong sense of boundaries to say, really, this is no fun for me. I don't want to engage in that. Or what we talked about last time with the kind of strangling, I'm not going to engage in that because that's dangerous. And I don't want anything to happen. So that's a kind of like short version of everything. So
Brilliantly
Namora,
done.
does that?
I'm struck again by, and this is all in my head, where so many men think, right, I need to have the muscles and I need to have a big dick and I need to know exactly what I'm doing so she doesn't go anywhere else. And what I'm hearing you say is you need to show up, you need to be playful, and the rest of it, maybe the muscles and the big dicks for the changing room rather than for the partner.
Ideally, you want to be with a partner where you're sexually compatible. So why would you pretend to be anything that you're not? But be grateful for that partner because she may be able to show you things. Yeah, but don't let her get away with you should know her. That you need to call her out to say, okay, let's stay constructive here because you have done this, you are experienced, so I need you to show me. There's nothing wrong with not knowing.